AppGate is a cybersecurity software and services company spun out of Cyxtera Technologies in January. Our flagship product is our software-defined perimeter. That's a zero-trust remote access infrastructure, and it's a very interesting time to be in the remote access business. When AppGate formed in January 2020, we faced challenges typical of any small enterprise attempting to reconcile 5 business units worth of software and services and systems suited to our needs at appropriate complexity and cost. And Salesforce was a single vendor that appeared to be positioned to support a majority of our needs in the revenue operations area. Our Salesforce representative introduced us to PolSource, and we're glad that she did. Both companies earned our business with demonstrable expertise and value, and not with a sales pitch, nor with the lowest bid. That's really been important to us. Of the third-party integrators we reviewed, PolSource not only had the most positive recommendations, but they were also able to demonstrate a turnkey capability to deliver, and that's really important to a resource-constrained company on a tight schedule. We're now in our third round of engagements with PolSource, and they've worked to configure and launch Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, Community Cloud, and Pardot for us, in addition to the attendant project management and requirements management efforts around those. By delivering the project on time and in a turnkey manner, PolSource enabled us to have Salesforce as a company that does not have the resources to implement it on its own. And that enables us to leverage all the features and functionality of Salesforce without necessarily having to overcome the initial effort to get into the platform and to understand how to use the platform. We can focus on our processes. And so that was primarily what they enabled for us. Working with PolSource was like working with members of your internal team. That was a criteria when we were selecting an integrator, and it was one that we were happy to see that PolSource did not disappoint. PolSource went the extra mile by refactoring their project plans to meet those needs, as well as even in some cases refactoring the statement of work with change orders as necessary, keeping everything above the table, but nonetheless being flexible enough to actually work with us as our priorities changed. We find that they are an integrated member of our team. They have knowledge that our team shares with them, but no other third party would have. And so the risk to move is simply not worth any potential benefit, including perhaps a lower cost. So we continue to use PolSource for reasons which are both intrinsic to their organization and their culture, but also reasons representative of business value, which they provide. I would recommend PolSource to someone else, to any other business really, because it's a safe recommendation. Because at the end of the day, a recommendation for PolSource is a recommendation which you can be assured will result in the completion of your project in a manner that does not load your team with responsibilities which you are attempting to outsource. A recommendation for PolSource is a recommendation for a third-party integrator who can integrate with your team, who can provide services in the agreed budget, and can work with you for when the plan completely changes, which is inevitable. Any other integrator that I've worked with tends to have some inflexibility around at least one of those characteristics, and PolSource has not exhibited any such limitation.